just an average guy who loves the outdoors. I love to hunt and I love to fish. Somewhere along the way I ended up with a video camera in my hand. So now I'm just cruising around checking out cool destinations. Sit back, put your feet up, and come on along. I'm Brian Whitens, and this is where I've been. This week I traveled southeast of Dryden, just off Trans-Canada Highway 17 to Pine Sunset Lodge. Not really sure what it is about Pine Sunset, but as I pulled up to the office it just seemed peaceful, simple, easy, and uncomplicated. The lodge is close enough to the highway to make getting there simple, but yet far enough that you feel remote and secluded. Pine Sunset Lodge is located on Denorwic Lake, 18,000 acres of water studded with numerous islands and bays. Denorwic is part of the Wabigoon-Denorwic chain of lakes, providing you with 50,000 acres of water stuffed with trophy game fish. The lake is considered by many to be one of the top combination of walleye and muskie waters in the country. Along with 12-pound walleyes and 50-plus muskies, you'll find 30 to 40-inch northern pike, 6-pound smallies, crappie, yellow perch, even lake trout can be found in nearby lakes.
Nice.
After I got settled into my cabin, the plan was to hit the water for some walleyes. As it turned out, the walleyes would have to wait. It was a bit windy on Denorwic, so we decided to hike into a smaller lake for some smallmouth. I joined guests Dan and Susan and Mitch, who along with his wife Sharon own Pine Sunset Lodge, on a trek into a smaller connecting lake for some smallmouth. First, a scenic trip up the river, followed by a short portage to one of the many small lakes that help make up the Denorwic-Wabigoon chain.
First fight, we'll break the ice. Should I get the net? Where's the net?
Yeah, it's behind you, Dan.
Oh, right behind me. Oh, under my pole. Thank you. She got there, Susan.
I think it's a smallmouth.
You think so? Oh, it does not want to stop, does it? If he's gonna take, whoa, mackerel. If he's gonna take line, just let him take line. Woo! Look at that one, a chunkosaurus right there. Holy man, that's dandy. Look at the size of that. Oh. Sweet fish. We should hold it. Woo. It's good. Oh, back up. There we go. Smiles. Woohoo! Change to a swim bait. Oh man, I can see the shadow down there. It's a monster.
Oh,
is there another one with it too?
Oh, there is.
I thought I saw another one with it. They like to team up. No, under the boat. Into the net, under the boat. It's good. Good job. Mitch got one. Here, let me get him out. There's his buddy. Let me fish for it.
My buddy.
Here, watch out, Susan here. There you go. That's nice.
Do you need me to net it?
Woo!
Got it. Okay.
Kiss him. Set him free.
Did you really kiss him?
I did kiss him. He deserved to be kissed. Little buddy. At the surface. Oh, he's gonna jump in the boat.
He almost did.
He almost did.
Oh, he tried, but he's like
There you
smiling.
go.
Dan is hot.
His own. Owie. She bit me.
I know, that's what happened to me before.
Nice. Not fighting like a fish?
Oh, yeah, not us.
Drag him over to me. All right. You the man.
Watch Real Outdoors as they travel to a new and exciting destination each week. Real hunting and real fishing in the real outdoors.
Most lakes in this area are rocky Canadian shield lakes. Where there's lots of rocks, there's lots of crayfish. And where there's crayfish, there's sure to be smallmouth.
Get him, Susan.
Nice one, Dan. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Hold him up, Susan. There we go. Ah, yeah. There's a nice one. Right in the roof of the mouth. Set him free so he can get big.
In the spring, smallmouth bass fishing is a hit or miss affair. Smallmouth bass leave the rocks and seek out sandy bars with dead logs on the bottom. This is prime spawning area. The trick is to stay mobile. Don't waste time in places where you're not catching fish. When you hit the right bay at the right time, you could be in for some of the best smallmouth fishing of your life.
He's gonna jump. Oh, he went back down.
In the summer and fall, the smallmouth bass are all over the lake. If it's been a cold and unusually rainy spring,
Wow, Dan, I think that's the biggest one.
the northern pike will still be in the shallows along the shore, so sometimes the smallmouth go deep. Erratic changes in atmospheric pressure will also affect bass movements. If you hit a rocky point
Scared the crap out of him.
and there are no bass, try moving 30 feet further out into the lake and drop a big worm on a hook or a tube jig down to the bottom. If you specifically fish for smallmouth bass in the summer, you should get a couple at every rocky point or shoal,
Look at the whale.
averaging around 20 to 30 bass a day.
That's a big fish there, Susan.
Smallmouth are common in the 2 to 4 pound range, along with several in the 4 to 5 pound range. 6 and 7 pound fish are rare, but definitely in the
Oh,
lake.
there you go.
Yay. That's what I'm talking about.
If you hit a spot that looks really hot and you don't catch anything, it could mean a big pike or muskie has moved into the area.
Oh, another jump.
If you do catch a big bass, try coming back to that spot an hour later. On Denorwic, the big trophy smallmouth travel in mating pairs. If you don't catch anything at what appears to be a prime spot, it doesn't mean the bass aren't there. Trophy smallies are old, smart, and cautious.
I guess I'll net yours for you since he's not bringing any friends.
The sound of the motor or a noise in the boat can sound the alarm and they can quickly shut down. Keep hitting those prime areas and chances are you won't be disappointed.
We don't need to see your face.
Even though many bass get eaten before they reach maturity, there's always a couple of spots in the lake where you'll hit a school and catch moderate-sized fish on almost every cast. But again, if you're in search of the monsters, the smallie that will rip the line off your reel and put on an aerial show, concentrate on the rocky points adjacent to deep water. Keep in mind, this can also be prime habitat for giant muskies and pike, so you might need to adjust your tactics. Keep your bait close to the rocks or the bottom. Even the largest of bass will be reluctant to swim out into the open when there's a giant muskie patrolling the area.
A nice fishy right there. Mwah. Dang it.
Dude, get the net.
Oh, you got time. Got them dirty. Wash them off and then let them go.
See, Mitch?
Oh, you're
He's busy pulling in a huge fish right now. Smile now, Mitch. Look happy about it.
Say smallmouth.
Good job.
Denorwic Lake is a big lake with over 18,000 acres of prime walleye habitat. The lake is dotted with hundreds of islands and many back bays, rocky points, and weed plateaus where you'll find an abundance of walleyes. After our hike back out, we met up with Sharon at the head of the portage trail. The wind was still blowing pretty good on the main lake, so we decided to spend a little time fishing for walleyes in the calm waters of one of Denorwic's many small bays.
What you got, baby? Jeez.
Oh,
One,
here
two.
it comes.
Double, double.
Woo!
Good job.
All right. Woo!
We gotta kiss them. Oh, they got teeth. I'll kiss the bass, but I don't think I'll kiss this one.
Shore lunch walleyes are common in the 1 to 3 pound range. That's something you never have to worry about. But you can also expect 4 to 6 pounders consistently. Walleyes in the 7 to 10 pound range, which are usually 25 to 31 inches, do get caught throughout the season, with fish over 12 pounds occasionally showing up. On an average day of walleye fishing on Denorwic, you can expect around 20 to 30 walleyes. A good day is 40 to 50. 100 fish days are certainly possible, but usually mean you've fished an area with a high concentration of small fish.
Watch Real Outdoors as they travel to a new and exciting destination each week. Real hunting and real fishing in the real outdoors.
Well, it was apparent the wind wasn't going to give us a break. Sharon was determined to coax some walleyes into biting, so we hit the water anyway.
Yes, nice one.
Even though Denorwic shoreline exhibits the beautiful and classic Canadian Shield structure with breathtaking outcroppings of rock, it's not a deep lake. Denorwic Lake is shallow for its size. Thus in the spring the water warms up faster, which produces a longer growing season for all species of fish, including bait fish and aquatic insects.
That's a nice walleye.
As a result, walleyes have more to eat and a longer season of aggressive feeding before becoming lethargic in the cold winter water. This means more walleyes and bigger walleyes. It also means it's an easy lake to fish.
Nice fish.
In the spring, walleyes are typically easy to find on Denorwic. They migrate to areas where there's current or sand.
That's what we're looking for.
They generally start their migration to these areas just before the ice starts to break up on the lake. Fishing is easiest from ice out until mid-June when the walleyes are shallow.
Something's after it.
In the summer, you can find walleyes just about anywhere. Concentrate on rocky points, shoals, and around islands. Deeper weed beds also produce a great number of walleyes.
Whoa.
Starting in August and leading into fall, the weather can be unpredictable. When the pressure is dropping, the walleyes stop feeding. When the pressure is rising, they feed like crazy. You'll still find walleyes around the rocky points and in deeper water off shallow weed beds, as well as areas where there is current. Fishing deeper off the same rocky points will produce good fish. The walleyes will also stay down deep off river mouths or stay suspended out in open water. When you're fishing the rocky points or weed beds, you generally catch smaller walleyes. If you're looking for big trophy walleyes, they can be as deep as 30 feet along the shore or suspended out in open water feeding on bait fish such as lake herring and cisco. At this time of year, trolling the shoreline in late evening and at night will produce the best fishing.
Nice fish.
Denorwic Lake produces awesome fishing for 5 species, but it doesn't end there. Customers can choose from a variety of lake trout lakes in the area, ranging from 10 to 40 minutes from camp. I joined Sharon, Dan, and Susan for a half a day of trout fishing on a small nearby lake. Well, the fish were there, the lines were in, and it didn't take long to find some action.
Yeah, you pointed down yet, or
Doing good.
fighting, huh?
Doing good. That's a nice fish.
All right. Was that on your lure too?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yay!
Let it go back.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice fish. That is a nice fish.
Good job. got?
25. That is a nice fish for this lake. You bet.
You gotta kiss him now, Susan. Okay.
No, I'm
Good lure.
Nice.
Ugly lure the better, I guess. Mine is too plain. My lure is too plain. We'll get her next time. Good job, man.
Woo! Oh, taking that drag out like that. Just tighten up.
You want the clicker off? Or you don't like, you like the clicker?
I like the clicker.
All right, click away.
I like the clicker.
Click
I
away.
like the clicker. There we go.
Yes.
Another nice one.
Woo.
Boy,
Yeah, not.
great. Cool. Yee-hoo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You want me to go to the front yet, or? I don't know. I think it's a crappie.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I was fighting the dipsy the whole time.
That's more the average size.
Yeah.
That is a good eating fish.
Yeah, you gotta eat that one.
Yep.
Oh yeah, a little head shake there. That was nice. Oh yeah, you got a little
Keep it
bigger
down,
now.
keep it down. Dipsy's right here. Keep it down.
All right.
All right, bring her out. Oh, you got it. That's a nice eater. That's a griller. There you go.
It's a baby one.
Very nice. No, it's not really.
I know, compared to Susan's.
Yeah.
Oh. To hold my fish.
22. That's a nice. See, we're catching over average fish on this for this lake. That's good.
So you said 20 is average?
Yeah.
Oh wow. We rock. Yeah. We are above average.
You got your limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means
So
if
now
there's
we're-
4 of us in the boat and the 2 of us here are above average, then, you know. Thanks for letting me catch the small one, Susan. Appreciate it.
Here, we thought it was going to be the big one.
We thought.
That's okay, babe.
That's it. Lake trout. Woo! Caught him.
Lake trout are common in the 2 to 10 pound range in these lakes. They're not monsters, but they're a lot of fun to catch. Spending a day fishing for lake trout is a great way to break up a week of walleye, muskie, pike, and smallmouth action.
Watch Real Outdoors as they travel to a new and exciting destination each week. Real hunting and real fishing in the real outdoors.
A great way to spend an afternoon is to motor into one of the many connected lakes. Sharon was on a mission to do some scouting for walleye, so we motored into Lost Lake, one of the many connected lakes in the Denorwic-Wabigoon chain. The trip into Lost Lake is certainly a scenic one, traveling upriver through wild rice bays, motoring up small creeks, and even smaller creeks, until you reach Lost Lake. We were in search of walleye, but not so much just for the sake of catching walleye.
That's a nice walleye.
Sharon regularly spends time on the water scouting for fish. She then passes that information along to her guests.
Cool.
For guests who are here for a week or so, knowing where the fish are and what they're biting on can save a lot of valuable time on the water.
Wow, another nice walleye.
Time that should be spent fishing instead of searching. And to be able to send a guest to a place like this, a secluded lake that nobody has fished or even laid eyes on in who knows how long. A lake full of walleyes, pike, and perch that have never seen a jig or a spinner.
Oh,
Well, that's something special. That's the kind of stuff you don't forget. Pine Sunset offers 9 comfortable housekeeping cabins, which can accommodate between 2 and 14 guests each. All the cabins are located on a narrow part of the peninsula, giving a great view of the sunset and the sunrise. If you're into camping, Pine Sunset has a camping area for tents, trailers, RVs, and large fifth wheels, Set up with water, electricity, a shower house, and a dump station. A unique feature at Pine Sunset is the once-a-week cookout. Sharon and Mitch fire up the deep fryers, cook up a pile of fish along with all the fixins. It's a great chance to meet other guests, make new friends, and of course, eat a pile of delicious fish. Well, my visit was coming to a close. I feel as though I barely scratched the surface of things to do at Pine Sunset Lodge. We didn't have time to hunt for muskies, but I know they're out there. Denorwic Lake is considered one of the top 5 muskie lakes in the world and a candidate for a new world record. If you're into perch fishing, Denorwic's thick weed beds and rich forage base provide the perfect habitat for jumbo perch. I wonder how many more small hidden lakes there are out there and what kind of fishing they hold in store. Or how many rock points there are loaded with walleyes waiting for me to drop a jig in a minnow. I wonder why it feels so peaceful here, so quiet, so uncomplicated. Even the dogs seem to be more relaxed. I wonder if I could stay in that hammock long enough to watch the sun go down without anybody noticing I was still here. Give yourself a break from your busy, speedy life. Spend your first cup of coffee in the morning watching the sun rise over a lake. Sit in a boat and fish for walleyes or perch all day. Cook dinner over a fire. Watch the sun close out the day from a hammock. I'm Brian Whitens, and that's where I've been.